Kishwan, yeah.
Kishwan. Her notes. You're going to like this one, Andrew. I know you can't stay for too long, but you'll have enough time to get into her with this. She says, men 30 plus dating 18-year-olds. I don't agree to that. Going around the table, what are your thoughts on age gaps?
I can't wait to hear it.
So your position really quick. We'll get the rest of the panels.
Oh, you want me to do it quick?
Well, I guess we're going to get everybody's input on this, but you can start since it was your point.
Okay, so the reason why I said that was because I would say that a girl, because she's still a teenager, just fresh out of high school, I don't think that an 18-year-old that is fresh out of high school is going to say, I'm ready to go get married and settle down. That's just not where she's at mentally.
Okay, so, what if she's 19?
21 is the youngest I'd go. 2021.
Sure. Well, before we get into it, we'll let everybody
Sure.
share their opinions. Go ahead.
Okay. I think it depends on where both people are at in life and if it like coincides with where each other are at.
Here, maybe I can just throw out a number. 25-year-old or 35-year-old, we'll just say 19-year-old.
I don't think I don't like that.
Don't like it?
No.
Okay.
Just
Why?
give you the ick.
Look in the camera.
Just not something I would personally do or
You wouldn't date
encourage my friends to do.
What about Ryan Reynolds? Would you date Ryan Reynolds?
Oh.
He's 47 or something.
I wouldn't
right?
date Ryan Reynolds, no.
You would smash Ryan Reynolds?
He's married.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
A lot of issues to bring up here.
If he was single. Or what about who's the guy who plays
like
Thor?
that
What about the guy who plays Thor?
Oh, he's sexy.
Chris Hemsworth. What about
I think the oldest I would go is like
Kelly Oubre.
who the fuck is that?
Kelly Oubre, like Justin Jefferson, like they're like mid-20s though. Mid-20s is
He's
the
like
oldest.
25, 28, right?
Justin Jefferson's like 25,
Okay.
I think.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, well that's fine. Okay, so it's icky. Not cool with 35, 19. Okay, what about you?
I think it depends where you are in life, but like as a blanket statement, probably not.
Probably not?
Yeah, probably
okay,
not.
Probably not cool with it. Okay, what about you?
19 and 35 are. 19 and 35, you say?
Yeah.
No.
No? What about you?
Yeah, I say no. It's too big of an age gap.
No.
Interesting. Okay. And then really quick, just going back around the table, what's like the oldest that you would date? So just say your age again, and then say the oldest that you would date. Kay, starting with you.
I'm 30. The oldest I would date is probably like 45.
Okay.
I'm 18, probably 20, 21.
I'm 18, I'd say like 21, 22.
I'm 18 and 20.
I'm 27, and I'd probably date up through like 35.
I'm 26. I'd probably go up to like maybe 36, 37.
Okay, so I'm 35, right? So you would all object to me dating a 19-year-old.
Yes.
Why?
I mean,
Why would you
19,
want to?
yes, legally an
Why
adult.
would I want to?
Because I would.
Wait, no, you said that?
Oh, go ahead.
I feel like your lifestyles would be so different.
How would it be different?
A 19-year-old, like I'm thinking of my life right now, like going into college. I would not, first of all, want to be dating anybody, but second of all, like be in the position to be in a relationship with somebody who is already like secure in their lifestyle, knows what they want, is working on their career, like that type of thing. I would need time and space for myself to do that.
I mean, when I brought up some of those men who are really attractive, high status, even though they're far older than I am, you seem to consider it. I was curious.
The only person I said I would consider is somebody who's 25.
I mean, you were pausing there for Ryan Reynolds and...
I paused. I
Chris
thought about it,
Hemsworth and-
but no,
So you're saying Chris Hemsworth steps to you, super rich, handsome, status, A-list celebrity, you're turning him down?
I think I would genuinely question like why me. I
you're
just think
attractive.
it would be weird.
Because you're attractive.
I think it would be weird
Why would it be weird?
because there are so many other women in his same stage of life and in his circle, I'd imagine, that are single and would be interested.
Okay.
Like, why would you have to step down to somebody my age, you know?
So the only reason why that I'm against it is because, like, I don't mind a big age gap. I don't care. But as I would say that when you're like 20 and older, it's fine. Because my dad was 32 when he met my mom and she was 21. That's a 12-year age gap.
Are they together?
Oh, yeah, they're still married, yes.
So, I mean, you have an example in your own life, so why would you object to it?
I said like 20 and older. Like 18, 19, you're literally fresh out of high school. You're probably about to go to college. Your parents expect you to probably finish school or to start college. They don't expect you to meet a 35-year-old dude and get married. And realistically, a lot of fathers would not accept something like that.
Sure, that's fine. I'm not saying women are obliged or forced to date older men. In fact, most women don't want to. But I don't see anything wrong if the woman wanted to and
No,
the man
yeah, if she wanted to.
I can't actually think of anything wrong with it.
If she wants,
So this is what I would say. I've never actually heard a compelling moral argument for why it would be wrong if the age of adulthood is considered 18 for somebody with a significant age gap relationship to date or marry an 18-year-old. I've never heard a compelling moral argument against it.
so what is a 35-year-old, like when you're a 35-year-old man, you see an 18-year-old girl that she can't drink, she can't legally do a lot of things at her age. She's just an adult. She can vote, sure. She could go into the army, whatever she wants to. She could do all those things.
So she's an adult.
But at 18, she can make decisions like that for her career and stuff. But as far as like
But
getting,
she can't determine who she wants to be with. She can just run the country. So she can vote to run the country. She can join the military. She can sign a contract. She can buy a house. She can do everything in the world except decide who she wants to date.
She can't
well, I
drink
didn't say
alcohol.
she didn't have to. I just personally, I don't agree with that type of an age gap because she's literally fresh out of high school.
Yeah,
I think,
but
what
let's
is a
say high
35-year-old
school.
man looking at
But let's
a
say high school
18-year-old?
lasted until you were 20. Then would the fresh out of the high school thing? Because that's good rhetoric, right? To say fresh out of high school. But if it lasted until you were 20, would you still say fresh out of high school?
No, you're 20.
Yeah, right. So
You're 20 years
so
old.
the high school thing's not relevant here.
You
It's
don't-
not.
you don't
It's
think
not
so?
high school, right? The idea here is that you think that there's some kind of ick factor from you
Mm-hmm.
as to why this is icky. I get that. Totally understand. I think age gaps are fucking icky too. But I can't make a moral argument against them.
Can I
It's
try and add in?
Yeah, I'd like to hear one.
Okay. So if I'm thinking of me at age 18 versus me even now at 27,
Sure.
Big difference.
mentally, what I'm able to understand, how I'm able to articulate myself, the type of decisions I'm making are completely
But
different.
let me tell you why this is a bad argument.
Okay.
Because that'll be the same case when you're 37. So why should
Right,
we let you
you're
date
always-
right now at 27?
So at 27, I shouldn't date a 40-year-old because so what I'm saying though, which I think it does have a good argument, is don't you think an 18-year-old, like their prefrontal cortex is not fully developed yet? Like why should they be more, like morally, don't you think that would be wrong of the 35-year-old to be like, I see it as almost like that's
Well,
like
let's
a
find
little
out.
bit of a prey type thing.
Is your
That's double the
objection?
age.
Is your objection that the prefrontal cortex is not fully developed?
Yes, like I wouldn't consider myself actually being an adult until I was 25. That's the year I'd say, wow,
Then why?
I actually
so
think I
then,
was an adult.
By this logic,
Yeah.
women should not be able to vote till they're 25.
I don't. Well, I wouldn't say that I can say the same thing for men, but I would think that we would be able to
But
vote
wait,
at the same time.
the objection is not that men should not be able to at 18 date 40-year-old
I know. I just didn't want it to be that an 18-year-old boy can vote and a 25-year-old woman couldn't vote. That's
yeah,
all
but
I
why
wanted to
not?
add in.
Because you're not saying that men shouldn't date 40-year-old
Right.
women at 18 because
No,
their
I think they.
prefrontal cortex
I think they
isn't
also
developed.
shouldn't. I don't know. I'm
Do
saying
they-
I
well,
can't
wait,
get in the
wait,
brain
that's
of
really-
a.
hang
I
on,
can't
that's
get in
really
the
weird.
brain.
Do their prefrontal cortexes develop at the same rate? Men and
No,
women?
Men develop
no,
slower. I
men's
think
are
men
slower.
Slower.
Men's are slower.
So you want so wait so men can't make the decision to date until what 28 in an age gap relationship?
Well, who's saying that? She said
Well,
that.
I'm not saying that it's like they absolutely shouldn't. It's illegal. But I'm saying when you were saying, oh, I don't know if there's like a moral standpoint.
Doesn't
I would
sound like I've heard a moral standpoint. You say so if you're going to make this claim, I'm not an adult till I'm 25 because my Abdullah oblongata is not completely developed yet.
Right.
It's like, okay, that's fair. Why the fuck would I let you do any adult shit then? Why would I let you vote? Why would I let you buy a house?
Well,
why
is
would I
that-
let you?
well,
why
is
would
that
I let you
no,
join
specifically
politics?
That's
looking out for
honestly though that
18-year-olds?
could be true. Then okay, so then if it doesn't develop till 25, then okay, raise
If you
those things
wanted
to
to
25.
raise the age of consent to 25 because that's when you're an adult, I'm all for it.
Yeah, but nobody's saying
All I need to hear from you is women are incapable of giving consent until they're 25. That's all I need to hear, and then I'm with you.
I can't speak for all
Oh,
women.
well, then I guess you can't say it's
No,
immoral.
I can't. I can only speak for me if I put myself and I know that
So
I'm not.
you couldn't consent till you were 25.
No, I know that if I was 18, that absolutely would have not been a healthy or morally correct situation for me to be with a man who's 35 years old.
So yeah, the idea here
That's
is
funny. I have a master's degree, so in creative writing, and I have 6 books. So
I thought you had something in psychology.
I do have a bachelor's in psychology, a master's in creative writing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, the idea here is that's fine. I'm willing to cede the ground that we should wait to call people adults till they're 25. But that means the entailment of that is we have to treat them like they're not adults until they're 25,
Right.
which means no voting, no age of consent. They can't have sex with somebody who's 26 then. Until they're 25. If they're 24, they can't have sex with a 26-year-old. It'd be like a 16-year-old screwing an 18-year-old, right? Be the same exact thing. So you would have to raise the age of consent. You'd have to raise the voting age. You have to raise all of that. If you're fine saying that that's what you want,
Right.
then I can agree to it.
Right. Then I would say I'd have to know on the back end more research of why it's actually 18 right now. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Because
I can't.
physiologically, it's completely undamaging for females at age 18 to 21 to have children. That's why.
Yeah, I'm
You
not
could
saying-
make the argument 17, 16, 15 on average, you're going to incur more damage. 18, usually not. It's a healthy age for child rearing, just like 19 is, 20, 21. The reason they want to start early is so that you can have as many children as possible. This is the idea behind it. So your fertile years are in front of you. So it makes sense, actually.
Okay.
So you
Yeah,
don't
it
think
was-
it's ever just a sex thing? You're
I'm-
35 looking at an 18-year-old?
I'm absolutely certain that most men at 35 who wanted to get married to an 18-year-old would be doing it specifically. The primary reason would be because they wanted to have lots and lots of sex with them and make babies. Yes, absolutely. I would concede that 100%. Just not sure what the problem with that is. That's the thing that gets me is like, how do you construct a moral argument that that's incorrect for them to do if they're adults? So if they're 35, they're 18, they're adults. What's actually incorrect if that is their most fertile years between 18, 20, let's say 26? It's almost compelling the other way, right?
Yeah, but any person's gonna question it. Like, how long were you guys dating? How long were you like looking at my daughter for you to even say, you know what, I want to talk to this girl? She's 18.
You
Like,
but-
like, no
girl.
parent-
But they would ask
Hold
the
on.
same questions at 29.
Yep. No.
Okay, but just granting.
Yeah, they would. Like your dad would be like, "How long have you known
Here,
this guy?"
for the
before
sake-
you married him, regardless of
No,
your
but,
age,
yeah,
right?
but 18 dating 35. How long were you talking to her for you to be like, you know,
let's
this is my
let's
this
just
could be your
grant they
potential
met.
life.
They first made contact. She was 18.
Yeah.
First made contact. 18.
So are you literally just scouting out just 18-year-olds, or you just met her randomly one day?
I'm going to
and said, "Let
assume
me
that
get to
they're
know her."
just scouting out 18-year-olds. They just adore them.
But you just don't think it's like a little weird?
You don't think that that's like a fetish? I like them teenagers.
Regardless of if I think it's weird, or I think it ick, or I think it's gross, or any number of different things, right? The Orthodox, my religion, don't even endorse age gaps that wide, okay? So I can actually make a moral argument, but ultimately, I cannot think of why, if it gives you the ick, that makes it immoral. A counterexample. If I were to say LGBTQ gives me the ick, right? Would you accept that as being a valid argument for why they shouldn't be LGBTQ?
Like, what would be the reason? Yeah.
Would you accept that? Fuck no, you ain't gonna accept that,
But
right?
my argument
then,
wasn't
hang on. So if you wouldn't accept that, then why the fuck would a guy ever accept that it gives you the ick as being something valid for anything? You know what I mean?
Yes, but I don't think that my point about an 18-year-old potentially being too young is about an ick at all. I think that someone who's 36 has double the amount of life experience as an 18-year-old. Why should they?
Because a
Be turned
because a 26-year-old and a 26-year-old, one of them can still have double the life experience of the other, and you know this.
That's true.
So the thing is like,
So an 18-year-old could
So,
have
wait,
the.
can I ask you a
so
question?
hang on. So would you make the objection, the same objection, if there's two 26-year-olds, one of them had double the life experience of the other one? Would you make the same objection?
No, you have a point there.
So if I wouldn't, or I'm sorry, if you wouldn't make that same objection,
Right.
then it gives you the ick.
Okay.
There's got to be an ick factor, right?
I'll have to think on it.
Okay, that's fair.
I was going to ask sort of almost a similar question as you, Andrew, on that. So you could have, for example, if you had a 40-year-old man who was a rock star, traveled the world, had all these experiences, sexual experiences, whatever, and then he wants to date a 40-year-old woman who lived in a small town, dull life, never went outside of her town.
That's still double the life experience. That's the point.
That's
Right.
the life experience
Right.
is so asymmetrical. But I don't
Or you
think,
can also have it the opposite direction,
It could-
where
yeah.
you could say the 19-year-old girl, right, partied hard in high school and traveled the world with her family and all sorts of shit, gets married to a 35-year-old fuddy-duddy churchgoer who really hasn't had much experience outside of just gets up and goes to work every day. So you could even make the case the opposite direction, that it's possible for the younger person to have more life experience than the older person. Though I would grant probably not the case, right? Most certainly is in the case of most people that I've met who get married around the same age, that one is far more mature than the other.
Right.
That is definitely the case.
So it doesn't actually give me the ick. My thought then is, if the 18-year-old was mature enough and had the capability to meet at the intellectual level of the 35-year-old, then yes, I think that could work.
Then it can't be immoral for a
Right.
35-year-old to marry an 18-year-old.
Right.
I don't understand the meat
Like-
at the intellectual
like-
level.
Just means that they're equally yoked somehow.
Yes, because
Have
I
you
can
ever heard
only.
an 18-year-old girl speak? Jesus.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, we have 3 at the table.
Well, 'cause
But by the way, they were very
no,
articulate.
no, no,
today.
no,
absolutely.
They
Well,
were very
and then that's
articulate.
another part of, where I'm thinking I was just thinking, when I'm thinking of me at 18, holy hell, no way is that going with the 36-year-old,
Well,
right?
and let's
but I
face
can't
it,
speak
too.
for everyone, so.
This is the same thing when you think about the idea, because we argue this, right? But the truth is, it's like basically nobody does this. This is the fringe of society. Ultimately, most everybody dates within about 3 years and marries within about 3 years, right? But if you are going to kind of talk about the fringe cases because they're interesting, and that's why we're talking about them, right? Then ultimately, I think we better have something more than, it's just kind of gross. You know?
Right.
I think we do.
Is it really all that fringe, though? I mean, plenty of women have anecdotes about, maybe not all the men they've dated are significant age gaps, but a lot of women have had age gap relationships, especially when they were younger.
But the
Especially when they
overwhelming
were
majority of them don't. That's what I mean by kind of the fringe. The overwhelming majority of them, they really are dating within.
Sure.
And
Sure.
this actually, the reason this makes a lot of sense is because you're a product of the people that you're around the most, and usually it's going to be this friend group you're with in high school, and you meet people through them. They're going to be around the same age. If you're at work, it's probably going to be around the same age. If you're working at Starbucks, you're probably not going to be 50. You're probably going to be 20, right? So people tend to kind of meet each other around those same ages. So it kind of makes sense why that occurs. But I'll tell you something really interesting. In the UK, they did a study where they took, and this is the Office of National Statistics, they took every marriage which had ever occurred in the UK, which was recorded, to look for a deviation in divorce rates. The assumption here being, because some stupid-ass study in the US came out saying that age gap relationships fail at this massive rate. It was all total bullshit. They went through and looked for the deviation to see if they couldn't find whether or not there was a significant difference in the divorces between age gap, non-age gap relationships. There was no significant difference at all. None. Which means they worked out just as much as the ones that didn't. Which kind of makes sense because wasn't that long ago that age gaps, even when my dad was a kid, very common. My mom, same thing. My mom and dad, just like yours, massive age gap. Worked out fine. Worked out fine. Anyway.
So it sounded like everybody was.
got
You got to
one.
take off. Okay. Thank you for coming, Andrew. Appreciate it. We're gonna maybe move the chairs around a little bit. We'll try to wrap.
Nice to meet you
soon.
guys. Have a
Nice to
great
meet
night.
you. Have a good night.
Thank you for coming, Andrew. Appreciate it.
Us two are going to have to leave pretty soon, too. We have a commute.
Yeah.
Okay.